Now, this news definitely stunned legal experts and Democrats here in Washington who argue the president right now is violating the constitutional right to due process. 6 Secret Service agents are now facing disciplinary action. State Education Secretary Lyndon McMahon defended the Trump administration's push to cut upwards of $67 billion from the Department of Education's budget next year. That's on top of DOGE cuts already in place. Well, it's hard to overstate just how expansive this new tax and spending bill really is. This case centers around a group of parents who say they should have the right to allow their children to opt out of LGBTQ reading material at their public schools. Today's rulings could pave the way for the president to take more bold action to achieve key portions of his agenda.
Now we're in a Congress that is House and Senate run by Republicans. Do Democrats see that they may have missed an opportunity to legislate and regulate AI in the lens that they prioritize?
It's only a little over 2.5 years since OpenAI shocked the world.
It was suggested that there is no discrimination to address at this point. I guess, how do you express that to family farmers who are Black families who have seen the amount of farms that they used to own diminish to, I think it's 4%. Is this not a population that deserves protection?
Are you optimistic about where the vice president will be taking this campaign?
I trust her judgment.
Will the Democratic Party look at it as a mistake to not better include this group in the DNC, for instance, if, the vice president does not prevail in Michigan?
Are Republicans drafting a plan to get rid of the Department of Education? Has this been discussed with the president-elect? It is something he has suggested on the campaign.
Now, because of the cold weather, we saw relatively small crowds around the Capitol, but you can actually hear President Trump supporters cheering when the former president took off on that helicopter. Trump's campaign manager, Susie Wiles, will be the first woman ever to hold the title White House Chief of Staff. The vice president's campaign says that she will be not only focused on talking about her personal story, her middle-class roots, her immigrant parents.
It's pretty ridiculous.
I hope this gets worked out.
House Republicans are holding out hope President Donald Trump and Elon Musk can make amends.
I'm going to figure it out. I think, sometimes brothers fight.
Musk launched a flurry of fiery attacks against the president online, and he urged his more than 220 million ex-followers to call their senators to kill the president's big, beautiful bill.
Our membership has never been more united behind President Trump and delivering on the agenda.
House Republican leaders who narrowly passed the massive tax and spending plan last month insist Musk's objections hold no weight. The president says the Tesla CEO is turning on the plan simply because it does not benefit his company.
Elon's upset because we took the EV mandate and, which was a lot of money for electric vehicle.
Musk denies the accusation, insisting his beef is with the bill's price tag. The White House is downplaying Musk's attacks.
He was a special government employee with an expiration date. Beautiful. Whoa.
But they do say the president now plans to either sell or give away the red Tesla he bought from Musk in March. Democrats call the dispute juvenile.
I was a classroom teacher for a long time, and this is why we're trying to ban cell phones in school.
Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries says through it all, Musk is right about one thing.
Donald Trump would likely not be the president of the United States of America right now without Elon Musk.
Fridays are now Farmers Market Day at Bread for the City in Washington, D.C.
People aren't able to stretch their dollars as much as they used to.
Tracy Collins, who leads the food program, says lines are growing, even combined with SNAP dollars. She says hundreds of families are struggling to get by.
The prices of groceries have gone up significantly, so stretching their SNAP dollars has become impossible.
Anxiety is setting in at the local food bank. Up the street, Republicans in Congress are eyeing cuts to SNAP in next month's budget. One idea on the table, expand work requirements for able-bodied adults without dependents. By law, SNAP is not available to most adults 18 to 54 if they are not working at least 20 hours per week after 3 months.
What do you think the impact of making it more strict
will be.
Most of the folks that we're seeing who are able-bodied, who are unemployed, are looking for work. And when I ask them about their income, they're like, hopefully next month. Finding employment isn't as easy as going out and just saying, oh, I'm going to go get a job today.
This 26-year-old is one of them.
I was homeless, and then I ended up getting housing. Even though I've been working, it's been hard to find a job that is maintainable.
Democrats are promising they'll fight to protect SNAP.
We're attacking the children of rural areas. We're attacking the children of working families.
But Republicans like Missouri Senator Eric Schmidt argue it's being abused.
I think there's a lot of fraud in the system. Those are savings that we can plug into the budget.
SNAP costs taxpayers roughly $110 billion a year and accounts for less than 2% of federal spending. Congress must pass a budget by March 14th. In Washington, Raquel Martin. Make America Healthy Again is now a hallmark of the Trump administration, but environmentalists say a decision to roll back regulations on drinking water is putting that pledge to test.
You certainly can't make America healthy again if you are putting toxins into the drinking water.
Melanie Benish with the Environmental Working Group is slamming the Trump administration's push to weaken regulations on forever chemicals known as PFAS. PFAS are toxic and linked to certain cancers, heart disease, and even birth defects.
Hundreds of communities across the country that have been drinking contaminated water for decades, I feel like the rug has been pulled out.
After studying the issue, last year Biden's EPA finalized rules limiting how much PFAS could be in Americans' drinking water. But the Trump administration argues the changes were illegal and burdensome. Now, they're seeking to scrap regulations on 4 of 6 PFAS compounds in the original rule.
I think there was sometimes they put regulations in place just to have regulations in place.
Michigan Republican Congressman Bill Huizenga says some PFAS are dangerous, but Biden went too far.
Did they really protect people? Did they stifle an industry?
Michigan Democratic Senator Alyssa Slonkin does not see it the same.
This is not an issue of overreach. This is an issue of health.
After the Flint water crisis, she says Michiganders deserve better.
We all should want to keep bad chemicals out of our water and to clean them up.
EPA wants to finalize rules by spring of 2026. Opponents expect legal challenges. After years of on-again, off-again changes for student loan borrowers, Republicans are setting out to overhaul the repayment process.
The bill cleans up the mess.
Tucked inside page 168 of the more than 1,000-page Big Beautiful Bill, their plan scraps Biden-era income-driven plans, leaving borrowers with 2 options. One automatically enrolls millions into a fixed payment plan. Similar to a mortgage, borrowers have a set payment for 10 to 25 years. The other is a new income-driven option. Payments change based on your income, but it mandates even the lowest earners make a minimum monthly payment of $10. It also keeps in place a Biden-era rule that waives unpaid interest if payments are made.
This program is very reasonable.
The Heritage Foundation says the revamp will get more borrowers back on track and ensure taxpayers don't foot the bill.
The student loan portfolio is headed towards a fiscal cliff, and only 38% of borrowers are in repayment and current on their student loans.
But the Student Borrower Protection Center calls the changes a step backward.
What this bill is going to do is going to lock borrowers into much higher payments for the long term.
They fear more Americans will default on their loans.
The effects of this bill are going to be devastating both for student loan borrowers, but also their families and for the broader economy.
The bill is passed.
Every Democrat voted against the changes. The fate of the Big Beautiful Bill is now in the hands of the Republican-led Senate.
This is the most corrupt White House in the history of the country.
That's how Democrats describe President Donald Trump's new dealings in the crypto industry. Thursday night, the president returned from a dinner with more than 200 of his biggest investors for his latest venture, a Trump meme coin.
How was the dinner?
The White House denies allegations the dinner, which took place at the president's North Virginia Golf Club, represents a conflict of interest.
It's absurd for anyone to insinuate that this president is profiting off of the presidency.
But Democrats call the coin, launched 3 days before the president's swearing in,
a channel for bribery.
And he's doing it right out there in plain sight.
Its creators, which include the Trump Organization, have since made hundreds of millions of dollars.
The American people have no idea who is buying access to the president and no idea what they are getting in return.
No media was allowed inside of the private dinner, and the White House has not released the names of attendees.
It's not a White House dinner. It's not taking place here at the White House.
The controversy could throw a wrench in bipartisan plans on Capitol Hill to regulate the crypto industry. Republican Congressman Dusty Johnson is pleading with Democrats not to abandon the effort.
They love yelling about Donald Trump, but let's not allow that issue to bleed over into us doing the kind of bipartisan work everyone knows we have to do.
The race has just begun, and you're going to win it.
Tech leaders are rallying behind President Donald Trump's new action plan to dominate the artificial intelligence industry. Wednesday, he signed 3 executive orders he says will allow tech leaders to stay ahead of China. The orders would drastically boost AI investment by restricting regulations and promoting U.S.-made AI tools in other countries.
America must once again be a country where innovators are rewarded with a green light, not strangled with red tape.
But not everyone is sold on the president's hands-off approach. In a statement, a coalition of over 90 environmentalists, labor, and consumer protection groups write, quote, "We can't let big tech and big oil lobbyists write the rules for AI at the expense of our freedom, even the air we breathe and the water we drink." The president's AI plan would help speed up construction of AI data centers across the country. The massive computer operations require tons of water and electricity.
Enormous amounts.
Missouri Republican Senator Josh Hawley is cautious. He says tech companies must ensure working Americans don't foot the bill.
But if they're going to cause rates to raise for everybody else, then I'm opposed to that.
Michigan Democratic Senator Alyssa Slotkin says tech investors are already scouting out areas in Michigan.
Sniffing around to see, hey, can I buy a bunch of land, put up my data center? Local communities are watching this really closely, as they should.
Hawley says it'll be up to Congress to ensure Americans aren't sacrificed in the AI race against China. In Washington, Raquel Martin.